Okay, so let's continue talking about the essential archetypes or ingredients you need in order to build and develop your spiritual body, or your God body, as it's also called. But we can call it the angelic form. And in the previous video, I gave three essentials, and today I will talk about three more essential ingredients or archetypes you need to develop and cultivate. Literally, as you're receiving this information, you want to look at it from the perspective and reality that just as your physical body has certain aspects and certain elements, whether you're looking at it literally through, like, the different minerals and things like that that compose the body, or if you're looking at it from the systems, like, the bony system, the circulatory system, you know what I'm saying? The nervous system, the lymphatic system, etc. But, like, the point of the matter here is, though, the fact that just as your physical body is composed of different ingredients or different systems, your spiritual body also is developed and cultivated through different aspects and ingredients. Now, it's very important for me to help you understand that you have an astral body, but your astral body is not. It's a spiritual body, because compared to the physical, the astral world is much more lighter and it doesn't abide by physical laws and things of that nature. So in that sense, the astral body is spiritual. You feel what I'm saying? When you go into your dreams, when you astral project, meaning even daydream, you feel what I'm saying? Because that's a form of astral projection in of itself. Anytime you leave your physical body and you go into your lighter bodies, you know what I'm saying? You are in a form of astral projection. You feel what I'm saying? You're experiencing a form of astral projection. The astral plane, we have to understand, is the mental plane. It parallels the physical, but it's the mental plane. You feel what I'm saying? But beyond the astral world, the spiritual world exists. And now, the differentiation is frequency. You feel what I'm saying? And I like to explain that when you think of frequency, you want to think frequently, because a frequency just helps measure how fast energy is vibrating physically. Because if we're to look into physics, right, and even the quantum mechanics and things like that, then we understand that even the atom is said to be composed of like only like one, like 0.1% quote unquote material, but 99.99999 of it, there's a couple more nines, 99.999% of an atom is considered empty space. It's not empty space, it's energy. And that energy is vibrating, and the vibration of the energy is what presents that appearance of materialism, that density energy. You feel what I'm saying? And in the physical world, things are vibrating a lot more slower, so they seem more denser. But as you rise through the different dimensions, we can even say, then things start to vibrate at higher velocities or higher frequencies. So literally in your mind, imagine, like, you can even imagine a wave or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? And physically, the waves are moving very slow. They're vibrating very slow. But then the higher you go, the faster the waves emanate. And as I'm talking upon this subject, it's valuable for me to bring up electromagnetic energy, because electromagnetic waves, like whether that's gamma, radio, light, like ultraviolet, you feel what I'm saying, infra lights, things like that, all of those frequencies, in a sense, bridge the astral world with the spiritual world. I mean, the astral world with the physical world. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to get too complex, though, because I'm here to share some other information. But yeah. So even in the physical world, we have bridges that help us go into the astral world. And that bridge is primarily electromagnetic energy. And you have to understand your nervous system is the greatest conductor of electromagnetic energy. So the more you can learn to like stimulate your nervous system, the more you can cleanse your nervous system. Your breath is very much connected to it's insane, but like breath work is deep, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, okay, so back to what I was saying earlier. Physically, the vibration is way slower. And then astrally, the vibration is way faster. So the physical world and the astral world are separated from each other. That's why we even have this perception of like spirits or ghosts walking amongst us, but we can't detect them because they're on a different wavelength, a different frequency. You know what I'm saying? But the conduit, the intermediate energy that we both share in common, that we both can tap into, is electromagnetic energy. This is how you can do like telepathy, psychokinesis, psychokinetic, having the capacity and ability to move things with your mind. You do it through electromagnetic energy, and that's very real. It's measurable, and a lot of people's electromagnetic frequencies are very weak, so you can't. They don't know how to extend their electromagnetic energy to a point where they can utilize it like a limb, like a hand. It's deep, but it's real. It's real. It's not myth or anything like that. It's real. It's scientifically been measured. All of that. It's just kept hidden though. They don't really teach this or they don't really talk about it, but all of it is real. You know what I'm saying? I really only like to deal with facts and things like that because I have a lot of air, so I'm very logical, very rational, and I'm always trying to find the reason behind everything. And I always say I'm a very reasonable guy, very reasonable person, very reasonable being. But yeah, so beyond the astral world there's the spiritual world, and the astral world and the physical world. These two are intimately connected. It's like the physical world is a shadow of the astral world, right? And the astral means pertaining to a star. So this is why understanding the symbolism of astrology, understanding that astrology is symbolic, the idea of planets and stars, that is after the fact. I say that because astrology came long before astronomy. Astronomy is somewhat more recent, but astrology has been here virtually since the beginning of human time. And astrology is a symbolic language. It's metaphorical. So I always like to tell people, get into astrology, but don't get lost into astronomy. Get into astrology and understand the symbolism. It's all about the symbols. Who cares, you feel what I'm saying, if it's real or fake? Like, from a tangible physical perspective, it's like the stories we tell little kids. It's not about if the Three Pigs or Little Red Riding Hood, this and the third was real, but it's the moral that's real, you feel what I'm saying? The symbolism that's real. Anyways, that's aside the point. But yeah, so the astral world mirrors or projects into the physical world. And so these two are connected. And just as the physical world is on a set clock, in the sense that it's not infinite, but it's finite, and one day all that we perceive materially will deteriorate, as it already does. And the time, because everything is on a clock, but it's like a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Because even like the concept of planets, the sun and the moon, they go on cycles. You feel what I'm saying? Like the spiral. You feel what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, I think Da Vinci's Code, even that is like a spiral. You feel what I'm saying? So spirals, circles are significant for sure. But pretty much the concept here though is, because this is very complex for me to fit it into one video. I feel like I would have to explain other things to get you onto this frequency. But I'm gonna go for it anyways and just pretty much explain that we want to build a spiritual body. Like we have an astral body because everything in the physical world has an astral counterpart. The chair I'm sitting on, the camera, the phone I'm recording, like everything around me exists physically, but it has like a duplicate in the astral world. You feel what I'm saying? And if I can tap into the astral world and influence and alter it, then it'll physically alter as well. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like in the Matrix movie when the kid was bending the spoon and he was like, the spoon doesn't bend, your mind bends. And that's deep and that's real because, like I said earlier, the astral world is the mental world. So by him bending his mind, which is the astral energies, physically, the spoon has no choice but to abide by the law or the construct. You feel what I'm saying? But okay, so we want to develop, because we all understand, right? We're here for growth, for evolution, and to become like metamorphosis, right? We're here all to become, go from being a caterpillar into the butterfly. And the butterfly is your highest spiritual exaltation. It's finally becoming God-like. Not God, but God-like. You feel what I'm saying? And in my previous video, I explained that you are an extension of the divine. The same divine force that flows through the divine flows through you, for everything is within the divine. There's nothing outside of the divine. You feel what I'm saying? And when you can truly sit in that energy and presence and connect with this higher intelligence, this higher force, this higher frequency, then it's like everything becomes okay. Like there's no fear. There's ultimate like assurance, awareness that nothing could go wrong, and a deeper awareness that even when you think things are going wrong, truly this is an aspect of divinity, and that's a whole other story though. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. The cultivation of these different archetypes are going to contribute to your metamorphosis and enable you to finally become godlike or have that divine essence and presence about you. You feel what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the astral world and the physical world, they're on a clock. They're finite. But then the spiritual world and the celestial world, those are infinite. You know what I'm saying? They're ethereal. And when you attach yourself to the physical world through acts of lust, gluttony, greed, I want to say anger, but it's another term for it. You know what I'm saying? Those lower vibrational frequencies, because thought is truly what you're composed of. When you attach to those lower thoughts and frequencies, then what goes on to happen is you yourself, it's like forfeit your more spiritual, finer aspects and adapt and accept your grosser, animalistic aspects. You feel what I'm saying? And neglecting your spiritual essence through reaching for higher, finer feelings and thoughts. Because it's like, that's really what it is at the end of the day. The body encapsulates you into lower frequencies and vibrations. You feel what I'm saying? It's fear, it's hate, it's separation, it's ego, from like the toxic expression of ego, which is fending for the self and only the self, living in fear, scarcity, just weird energies. You feel what I'm saying? And what goes on to happen is If everything is mental, then your mind has yet to expand and build itself to encompass anything beyond this physical world. So your mental paradigm, the program you live in, can only like bring you back to this physical world. Like that's all it is. And so like a loop of reincarnation and all of this other stuff goes on to unfold for you because you have yet to expand your perception and concept. It's like you want to look at it like the higher thoughts, higher thoughts and emotions literally act like a ladder, and they connect you to higher planes. As long as you don't have those higher thoughts and emotions, you get stuck down here. You feel what I'm saying? And you, in a sense, recycle. Even when you pass into the physical world, into the astral world, you exist in the lower astral planes, low enough not to be physical, but low enough to act through others vicariously to fulfill your desires. And this is where like parasites or like um, possession comes into play. Like being possessed, because it's like people, like let's say people who can't control themselves at the end of the day. Because what you got to understand is when it comes to the soul is like a wave. The soul is like consciousness. The soul experiences and thinks. It's the aspect of you that has the presence of consciousness. It can experience, but it in of itself is not something. You feel what I'm saying? It needs a body. This is why like you're all like, you can't imagine yourself without a body. Like, you can. I guess I probably shouldn't say that you can. Well, you can detach like from your physical body, but when I really give it thought, in actuality, you'll always have a body, whether it's a physical body, it's your ethereal body, astral body, a spiritual body. Your soul will always need a body to operate through. You want to perceive the soul as like the conductor, the presence, the consciousness, the thinker and the feeler. It in of itself is like a formless, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not tangible, but it can operate through tangible things. It's the vibration, and it uses energy, which is the different bodies it ventures through, right? Like physical, spiritual, electromagnetic, because these are all different worlds. Like the electromagnetic world is a world in of itself. The spiritual world is a world in of itself. The material world, you feel what I'm saying, etc. Yeah, but so the soul, it's the vibration, and it uses these energies, which are the worlds, to create different frequencies. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that though, you know what I'm saying, because that concept in of itself can get pretty deep. But okay. So when you no longer have the physical body, let's say you die or something, you transition into your astral body. And the astral body is a mental body. It's a lighter body. It's a body composed of thoughts and emotions that create your constitution. Whether you're a positive or negative person, the way you think, the emotions you feel, all of those contribute to constituting your mental body or your astral body. And when you die and pass away, and that's the body you operate from. Or when you take certain, psychoactive drugs, psychedelics, then temporarily you leave this physical body and operate consciously through your lighter bodies, typically the astral body. And this is why negative people have negative trips. You feel what I'm saying? And positive people have positive trips. And it goes so deep. But the thing is, even the astral world, like once you pass and you're operating in the astral world, your work is yet completed in the sense of cultivation and development. You feel what I'm saying? Even within the astral world, you have certain labors, certain tasks you must undergo. And then finally, once you cultivate and develop your spiritual body, then you attain immortality. And let me explain it like this. The only reason we die is because of stress. Like the way that we react to our environment. Things from the environment corrode, you know what I'm saying? The physical body, the food, the this, the that, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. So survival is nothing more or less but adequate adaptation to the physical or the environment, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever. If you fail to adapt to your environment one way or another, then it'll lead to you passing away. And that can even be like a person who is way too spiritual and not existing in the physical world, but way too spiritual and not physical enough. That can be a reason for death as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you fail to adapt to the environment. But it's like the difference in substance is the higher velocity substance of the spiritual world are not corrosive. They are like they don't deteriorate. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why those energies and those bodies composed of that substance are ethereal. They're forever. So these aspects of, these material substances of the spiritual world are composed of the highest mental elements. They're composed of the highest thoughts, the highest emotions, the loftiest emotions, thoughts, and motivations, aspirations. And that's how you compose that body. You feel what I'm saying? Your spiritual body. You compose your spiritual body and create a presence for yourself in the spirit world. And mind you, like I said earlier, the astral world is not the spirit world. There's the astral world, which to us is, a lot of people, when they talk about the spirit world, they're talking about the astral world, because it is the closest non-physical world to us. But when you're in the astral world, then the astral world, quote unquote, becomes like the physical world, and you look above, and the spiritual world is the next level or the aftermath or whatever. But so what goes on to happen though is when you compose these different elements, as I was speaking of, in correlation to pure, lofty aspirations, motivations, and thoughts, then you start to develop and build, like you cultivate the necessary ingredients. You feel what I'm saying? And like I was talking in my other video, all the 7 ingredients are essential, and the 3 we talked about previously was the sun, which is gold. You need gold. You need a sense of power, a sense of self-awareness, I'm saying, a sense of identity. And that is what helps sustain your individuality. You feel what I'm saying? Because in reality, everything is immortal. But if you don't build a worthwhile constitution or worthwhile character, then you kind of become recycled and you go back into the all. You feel what I'm saying? And you don't have a sense of independence per se, but you more so operate in a means where it was like you kind of never existed. Let me explain it like this also. It's like, in order for you to operate immortally or ethereally, you need the right vehicle, which is composed of spiritual substance. And spiritual substance is the lofty thoughts and emotions that we tap into when we are in our purest state. You feel what I'm saying? And so if you don't have those materials, then literally you can't exist in those realms. Like, it's like kind of a spacesuit. Like, you need a spacesuit, quote unquote, or like a submarine suit, I think I'll rather say. Like, you need a submarine suit to go down into the ocean. If you don't have a submarine suit, but you try to go down into the ocean, you will be obliterated. Like, you will be destroyed. It's the same concept with the spirit world. So you need the right materials. And it goes so deep, you feel what I'm saying? And we can talk more about it in the comment section. Be more than happy to do so. But yeah, those are like, we'll dive deeper into my next video. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the whole point of even understanding this doctrine of the 7 archetypal energies you need to cultivate and develop. They literally help you become a holistic being, a being like that's powerful, that's off like high functioning, a universe in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's valuable to understand within all of us exists seeds that are under germination that can sprout into universes, divine energies. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the objective and that's the goal for all the work we even do. And when you're a conscious person and you align with these practices that I'm slowly but surely teaching, then you condense work that would take a typical soul thousands of years into a couple of lifetimes. You feel what I'm saying? You don't get stuck into wasting your time and irrelevant things, but you get straight to the point and you cultivate the necessary energies that life is leading you to anyways. It's teaching you and guiding you, but allowing you the free will to mess up. But when you learn discipline and structure and get to the point, then you elevate. You feel what I'm saying? Like, faster. It's like climbing a ladder versus taking an elevator. You know what I'm saying? But like, honestly though, it's like, even the spiritual work, like, you gotta climb the ladder to get to the elevator. It's not to say it's a shortcut or anything like that, but it just condenses all of the wasteful time and things like that. You feel what I'm saying? Most souls spend because they wander. But we'll get deeper into it though. Just go back to my other video I posted like the other day and tune in and listen. You feel what I'm saying? As I break down the first 3 essentials, which were the sun archetype, the moon archetype, and Mercury's archetype. We need these. We need to cultivate and develop them. And once we do in a pure and refined manner, then they contribute to our spiritual composition, our spiritual body. But we'll get deeper into it though. For now, you guys have a beautiful rest of your guys' days, nights, moments. And tap in, you feel what I'm saying, with the courses I provide to learn more, especially about astrology, because it's the science of archetypes. A lot of people think astrology is like the science of characteristics and personality traits, and they'll forever be left out of the loop as long as they think like that. You feel what I'm saying? But peace and namaste. Bye bye.